Well, children, this is LK Tripathi. Very good morning to all of you. Dear children, as we have been discussing about the globalization and the Indian economy, in the same concern, today we have the new topic related to the same chapter, that is foreign trade and integration of market. Since very early of the civilization, we have been closely connected to the foreign countries, as we know that we had very deep relationship of trade with other part of the country, South East Asia, East Asia, and rest neighboring part of the countries were well connected to India in the trade activities. So, all these types of discussion will be taking place in the new video. So, we have to discuss and we have to understand the relationship with the foreign countries related to the trade activities. For a long time, foreign trade has been the main channel connecting countries. In history, you would have read about the trade routes connecting India and South Asia to market both in the East and West, and the extensive trade that took place along these routes. The main routes were connecting India from other part of the world, that is South Asia, East and West part of the world. These routes were famous and easy to perform the trade activities. Also, you remember that it was trading interest which attracted various trading companies such as the East India Company to India. What then is the basic function of foreign trade? This was the route easier for all the European countries as well as the rest part of Asia. Even the East India Company also came to India from this route. To put it simply, foreign trade creates an opportunity for the producers to reach beyond the domestic markets, that is, markets of their own countries. Producers can sell their produce not only in markets located within the country but can also compete in markets located in other countries of the world. Similarly, for the buyers, import of goods produced in another country is one way of expanding the choice of goods beyond what is domestically produced. In general, with the opening of trade, goods travel from one market to another. Choice of goods in the markets rises. Prices of similar goods in the two markets tend to become equal, and producers in the two countries now closely compete against each other even though they are separated by thousands of miles. Foreign trade thus results in connecting the markets or integration of markets in different countries. Now, next topic, that is what is globalization? About the economy and trade relationship, we have studied above mentioned lines and topics. Now let's try to understand what is globalization. In the past 2-3 decades, more and more MNCs have been looking for locations around the world which would be cheap for their production. This is true that last 20 or 30 years the MNCs have been looking immensely about the location around the which they could produce the materials at cheap rate. Foreign investment by MNCs in these countries has been rising. In such a countries where labor availability is easy, land availability is easy, resources are available. So the foreign multinational companies looking very much interested and excited to invest the money in such areas. At the same time, foreign trade between countries has been rising rapidly. A large part of the foreign trade is also controlled by MNCs. For instance, the car manufacturing plant of Ford Motors in India not only produces cars for the Indian markets, it also exports cars to other developing countries and exports car components for its many factories around the world. Likewise, activities of most MNCs involve substantial trade in goods and also services. The result of greater foreign investment and greater foreign trade has been greater integration of production and markets across countries. Globalization is this process of rapid integration or interconnection between countries. MNCs are playing a major role in the globalization process. More and more goods and services, investments, and technology are moving between countries. Most regions of the world are in closer contact with each other than a few decades back. Besides the movements of goods, services, investments, and technology, there is one more way in which the countries can be connected. This is through the movement of people between countries. People usually move from one country to another in search of better income, better jobs, or better education. In the past few decades, however, there has not been much increase in the movement of people between countries due to various restrictions. Technology. Rapid improvement in technology has been one major factor that has stimulated the globalization process. For instance, the past 50 years have seen several improvements in transportation technology. This has made much faster delivery of goods across long distances possible at lower cost. Even more remarkable have been the developments in information and communication technology. In recent times, technology in the areas of telecommunications, computers, internet has been changing rapidly. Telecommunication facilities like telegraph, telephone, including mobile phones, fax, are used to contact one another around the world, to access information instantly, and to communicate from remote areas. This has been facilitated by satellite communication devices. As you would be aware, computers have now entered almost every field of activity. You might have also ventured into the amazing world of internet, where you can obtain the share information on almost anything you want to know. Internet also allows us to send instant electronic mail and talk across the world at negligible cost. Liberalization of foreign trade and foreign investment policy. Let us return to the example of imports of Chinese toys in India. Suppose the Indian governments put a tax on import of toys. What would happen? Those who wish to import these toys would have to pay tax on this. Because of the tax bias, will have to pay a higher price on imported toys. Chinese toys will no longer be as cheap in the Indian markets, and imports from China will automatically reduce. Indian toy makers will prosper. Tax on imports is an example of trade barrier. It is called a barrier because some restrictions has been set up. Governments can use trade barriers to increase or decrease foreign trade and to decide what kinds of goods and how much of each should come into the country. The Indian government, after independence, had put barriers to foreign trade and foreign investment. This was considered necessary to protect the producers within the country from foreign competition. Industries were just coming up in the 1950s and 1960s, and competition from imports at that stage would not have allowed these industries to come up. Thus, India allowed imports of only essential items such as machinery, fertilizers, petroleum, etc. Note that all developed countries during the early stages of development have given protection to domestic producers through a variety of means. Starting around 1991, some far-reaching changes in policy were made in India. The government decided that the time had come for Indian producers to compete with producers around the globe. It felt that competition would improve the performance of producers within the country since they would have to improve their quality. This decision was supported by powerful international organizations. In this way, the barriers on foreign trades and foreign investment were removed to a large extent. This meant that goods could be imported and exported easily, and also foreign companies could set up factories and offices here. So, removing barriers or restrictions set by the government is what is known as liberalization. This is known as liberalization, and globalization means that all the countries should be interconnected in the sector of economy, sector of trade, so that it could be run faster and easier in proper way. Thank you. Have a nice day. Next video will be released tomorrow.